What is happening to Bitcoin now and the crypto market? Was 112K the top? Are we in for a bear market right now, do you think? Or is this just a pullback to getting on the dip? As I've been saying, I think this is just a pullback, right? We're headed for a blow off top. But the big question is, the key question is, where will it stop? Around 100K, right? Or somewhere lower, somewhere like the mid 90s. My original call was 100K, but a number of things have come along which made me think, oh, maybe things could be different. And have you guys seen this signal recently? This signal. There's some big signals here that happened recently. So we're going to talk about that today and see where Bitcoin is going and where Ethereum is going relative to Bitcoin. Are we going to get an altcoin season or not? So for example, let's have a look at Bitcoin itself, which basically is in a pullback pattern, and it's inside this channel. And what happens is that it looks like we could be getting a breakout of this channel, and then something like this, right? We might stay above 100K. One thing that I have been mentioning a lot is, let's have a look at the funding rates. We've still got a lot of greens, right? But a lot of blacks and a few reds. It's mainly a black and green board, which means people are still slightly leaning towards shorting. And when people are slightly leaning towards shorting, then the exchanges would want to squeeze up. So in other words, I think it's likely we get some sort of squeeze like this, small squeeze, and then we come back down, right? If it's going to bottom, we'll probably get a second stab down for a back double bottom and then go up. If it's going to bottom above 100K. If it's going to go below 100K, right, to something like the mid 90s, then probably something like this. And then we bottom and we go up. So it's one. Remember, folks, I used to say that there are two groups of whales. There are two groups of whales within the crypto markets, right? What I keep on showing you guys with the crypto funding rates, right? The crypto funding rates is just one group of the whales. That's the exchanges. You have the exchanges, and then you have the spot whales, right? The exchanges basically, whenever everyone's shorting, they will squeeze up. When everyone's going long, they will create those crash downs where Bitcoin goes down something like 10, and it could even be 15% in one day, and basically just liquidate all the longs. Now, but there's another group of whales, and that's what we're going to talk about today. That's not the exchanges. That's just the spot whales. People like MicroStrategy, people like BlackRock, right? Because they buy, well, their clients buy collectively something like up to $500 million, even up to $1 billion a day. And there are lots of other big institutional whales as well. What are they doing? Are they buying or are they selling? Before we get to that though, first let's answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo use? Well, Pablo uses the exchange that's non-KYC. That means you don't need to show any of your IDs, right? So then of course Americans can use it because they can't even see where you're from. And that means the IRS can't see you, the CIA can't see you, the tax office can't see you, FBI, nobody can see you, total privacy, right? Over $8,000 in newbie prizes just for signing up. And it's already had 1.3 million global users. It's the fastest growing exchange in the world right now. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then the link is in the description below. But if you're watching this on another platform, that's okay, because all you have to do is just click on my profile page. And then we just basically click on the Stan link. That's my link tree right there. And it should be the first deal that pops up. Okay, let's get back to the markets. And of course, Bitunix, great deal here. Okay, and remember folks, only on the Pablo Heman link. Okay, only on this link. The signal I was talking about was this one. And it's called the Bitcoin net taker volume. What's the net taker volume? It basically means that when if you're a seller and you're just hitting the taker price, you know how if you want to sell, you just put out a order out there, and that order is basically needs buyers to move up and hit your order, right? Hit your offer, so to speak. They need to move up and hit your offer. But what happens in this case is that if someone's in a panic or in a hurry to sell, then they don't wait. They don't wait for you to hit their offer to buy. They basically go down and they hit the bid. So you have the offer price and you have the bid price, right? They move down. The market price is somewhere in the middle. They move down and they hit the bid. They hit the bid and they hit the bid and they drive the market down. So what we saw here during this spike down to 100K was basically a lot of people hitting the net taker volume, right? So net meaning we compared the people hitting the offer price and people just hitting the bid price at market, right? At market. And overall, there are much more people selling on this leg down. And you might say, oh yeah, of course that happens because that's why we had a panic sell. I think that was due to Trump and Elon going off at each other and went to 100K. But these signals we should take seriously, because last time this signal happened was end of February. Let's have a look at what happened end of February. So end of February was around here. And it showed us, well, even if you say, okay, end of February was around here, the drop had already happened, you could say that then during the next 5 weeks from end of Feb till April the 7th, market was still making lows. I mean, you could say, well, that was due to the Trump tariff thing. But usually what I find that in the past, even here around December and January, I saw some net taker volumes going negative. When it goes negative, it basically shows, like, by you as an individual selling your coins in a hurry, the net taker volume would not spike like this, because you don't make up that much of the market. Even if you sold your entire portfolio, it won't cause Bitcoin to do this. This when it happens, is someone big is doing that. Someone big is doing that, so that can take the overall entire market's net taker volume down like this. So it's something to watch out for. And you have, for example, if we look at the net buyer volume, right? Like when you had this bunch of buyer volume, right? It signaled a lot of whales. Much more whales are hitting buy in a panic, right? In a hurry rather than selling. And we see the market end up going up. Another bunch of whales buying, and we see the market going up, right? And sometimes it doesn't quite work, but look at this. This is when we had more buying volume here, but it's lower than these. It's lower than these two volume, right? So we had a top, had 112K. And look at this, When Bitcoin was still quite high, at its highs around 112, 111K, you had this significant selling volume, right? And that marked the top, at second top at 110K, and we came down to 100K. So these volumes, they are usually signs of whales doing something, and I think we should take them seriously. Okay, so basically in the short term, in the next day or two, my thinking is that we go up because crypto funding is still quite green, relatively green. Exchanges want to squeeze up. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, my thinking is the pullback isn't over, and we might squeeze up for a couple of days, and then at least I would think do a revisit of the 100K area or even into the mid-90s because the whales could be doing some selling. I'll look for more evidence if the whales are selling or not. That's just one indicator. But a month from now, say in July, I think we have the blow off top. I think we'll make a new all-time high in July, and we have a blow off top, July, August. And top for me is in September to November area. I've been saying that for a long time. Let's have a quick look at altcoins such as ETH versus Bitcoin. So ETH versus Bitcoin here, for example, is looking healthy to me. We've had this big pop up, but ETH hasn't really pulled back yet, right? It's basically been forming this. I think eventually this is going to turn into some sort of bull triangle, a bull pennant, or a bull flag, and up we go. So overall, the I think, like, if you look at the drop in Ethereum against Bitcoin, this entire time Ethereum has been going down against Bitcoin, right? We've never really seen a move as significant as this. The only time we have seen it is probably these ones and these ones, and they were not as big, right? You can see it. Well, this is on log scale, as big of a move as this, and basically this occurred near double bottom. So the chance of this being just a consolidation and we break out later to head for at least this 0.036 or even 0.046 area is quite high. And when ETH does a move like this, that's altcoin season, or that's continuation of altcoin season. As I've been calling for altcoin season starting around here, I understand a lot of people say that Bitcoin altcoin season doesn't really start till Bitcoin dominance starts to drop. So but I say when Bitcoin dominance starts to drop, then that's when you already have some altcoins are up like 5-10x already, and I'm talking about the large ones. Let's have a look at this. So Bitcoin dominance, I think it potentially is coming up to a major resistance around here, 65%. We're 64% right now. This red line's around 65.8. We could top out somewhere with a wick around here, and then we go down. So what we could see is Bitcoin push above 112K in the next month or so and make a new all-time high. A blow off top for me would require Bitcoin to go to at least 120K. If that happens, then we see something like this, a push up like this, and then down we go. So yeah, like a push up like this, when Bitcoin hits 120K and above, a blow off top, and then down we go into altcoin season, and then Bitcoin tops and altcoins top with it, but not before Bitcoin dominance drops to like 45%. You know, minimum target would be like 49%, and then probably 40% if we're really, really lucky. And yeah, so for folks who have been watching, you've seen how well Swarm Coin has done over the last few days. I mean, I called it in my Discord, the diamond area first, and then I told my VIP folks, and now put it on the market. But it's still, I mean, you know, it's still what, like 22 mil market cap. That's nothing. It's like nothing. So many meme coins get launched in there like 22 mil. This is so small right now. Like, I mean, if you like KTA backed by Eric Schmidt, it's at over 500 million right now, and KTA is probably still small. Whilst this Swarm, it's only at 22 mil, and it's backed by Mark Cuban. It's backed by the founder of LinkedIn, backed by OKX. CZ's taken an interest in it. BitGet's taken an interest in it. So 22 mil. I think really it's still early, just getting started. Thank you for your time, guys. Catch you next episode.